We're talking about solving multi-step inequalities. So the first thing we want to look at is determining if a value is a solution to the inequality. So our first example is n squared plus 8 is less than n cubed minus 2 when n is equal to negative 2. So we're going to plug in a negative 2 for n and see if it's true. So I have negative 2 squared plus 8 less than negative 2 cubed minus 2. So negative 2 squared is positive 4 because negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4 plus 8. And that side is 12, 4 plus 8. And then negative 2 cubed is negative 8 minus 2, because that's negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2, and that's positive 4 times negative 2, which is negative 8. And negative 8 minus negative 2 is negative 10. And this is false. 12 is not less than negative 10. So no, it is not a solution. And it's important that you say yes and no at the end, not just true or false, because we need you to determine the answer to that question. Is it a solution? Our second example, negative x minus 8 is greater than 2x plus 4 when x is negative 6. So when it says negative x, that means negative 6 minus 8 greater than 2 times negative 6 plus 4. And negative becomes a positive 6 minus 8, and that's negative 2, 6 minus 8. And then 2 times negative 6 is negative 12 plus 4 is negative 2 greater than, and negative 12 plus 4 is negative 8, which is true. So yes, it is a solution. Okay, now we're going to solve the inequalities. Remember that if we multiply or divide by a negative number, we must reverse the inequality. Okay, so our first example is negative 2 times n minus 4 is less than or equal to 3n minus 7. So these are multi-step inequalities with variables on both sides. So our goal is to simplify each side of the inequality, and then we'll get all the variables on one side, all the numbers on the other, and then we'll solve. So I'm going to first distribute the negative 2. Negative 2 times n is negative 2n. Negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8, less than or equal to 3n minus 7. And then we're going to move the variable minus 3n. So I'm going to move my variable to the left, and I get negative 5n plus 8 is less than or equal to negative 7, and minus 8 from both sides. And negative 5n is less than or equal to negative 15. Divide by negative 5, and I've divided by a negative. Okay, this is divided by a negative. So my inequality is going to flip to greater than or equal to. So n is greater than or equal to positive 3. And I can draw that on a number line. I have 3. Okay, I like to put 2 other numbers on there. And I'm going to use a closed circle because it's greater than or equal to, and greater than is the 4, 5, 6, and 7. Number 2, 8 plus 6n is greater than 17 minus 3n. So I don't have any distributing to do. I just need to get my variables on one side. So we're going to add 3n, and I have 8 plus 9n is greater than 17. And then I'm going to move the 8 minus 8. Now I didn't divide by a negative, I'm just subtracting. So that's 9n greater than 9. And I'm dividing by positive So there's no switching. It's just n is greater than 1. I draw that on a number line. 1, 2, 0. Open circle because it's just greater than. And greater than is 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right. So n plus 2 greater than negative n plus 6. We're going to add n to both sides. And I get 2n plus 2 is greater than 6. Subtract 2 from both sides, so 2n is greater than 4. Again, there's negatives there, but I didn't divide by the negative. I'm just subtracting a 2. And here I'm dividing by a positive 2, so I don't need to reverse. N is greater than 2. Greater than, and I get an open circle, and greater than 2 is 3, 4, and 5. Let's see. Negative 6 times n plus 3 plus 6n is greater than negative 4. So we're going to multiply, distribute that negative 6. So I have negative 6n minus 18 plus 6n is greater than negative 4. Well, now my 6n and negative 6n are on the same side of the inequality. So I'm combining like terms. I'm not doing the opposite. And I end up with 0n minus 18 is greater than negative 4. And we don't ever write 0n. We just end up with negative 18 is greater than negative 4, which is false. And we learned in the equations that when we had a statement that was false and all the variables went away, that meant there is no solution. There are no numbers that are going to make this true. And that is a 0 with a line through it for our shortcut. Okay, so again, we're going to combine like terms, simplify each side. The negative 9 plus 2 can be simplified. So x divided by negative 2 plus 6 is greater than or equal to negative 7. And then we're going to subtract 6 from both sides. And I have x over negative 2 is greater than or equal to negative 13. And I multiply both sides by negative 2. Multiply by both sides by negative 2. Oops, that's a 3. I multiplied by negative 2. So that deserves a reverse. Reverse that sign, and the 2's cancel. We get x is less than or equal to positive 26. Now let me just fix that because it looks ugly. Negative 2. And then we can draw that on number line. 26, 27, 25 is less than that. Closed circle because it's less than or equal to, and less than is 25, 24, 23. And then my last example, negative 4 minus n plus 5 is less than 3n plus 7. So what has to be distributed here? This negative 1. It's like negative 1 times those parentheses. So I'm distributing the negative 1. The 4 is actually being subtracted out there. So it's negative 4 minus n minus 5, less than 3n plus 7. Now I have a negative 4 and a negative 5 on the same side. So I'm going to add them together. Negative 9 minus n less than 3n plus 7. And then I can get my variables on the same side, so I'm going to subtract 3n. Negative 9 minus 4n is less than 7. And then we're going to move the constant over. Add 9 to both sides. Negative 4n is less than 16. And then I'm going to divide by negative 4. And I'm dividing by a negative. So I'm going to reverse the sign to greater than. And that's n is greater than negative 4. We'll draw that on a number line. negative 4. And I like to put two other numbers on here, negative 3, negative 5. I use an open circle because it's just greater than, and greater than is negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, and 0.